Hello everybody, Steve Cunningham here, and welcome to Cooking on the Weekend. Today I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite dishes, lasagna. And I want to give a big shout out to Vincenzo from Vincenzo's Plate. Thank you for helping me learn more about traditional Italian cooking. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my version of lasagna, which takes into account what the average American can buy at their local grocery store without breaking the bank. Now, I'm going to take a few shortcuts, but I'm also going to talk about ways to do this if you don't mind spending a little extra money and you got a bit of extra time. Alrighty, let's talk about that sauce. Now, I'm guessing in most non-Italian American households, the mirepoix step is probably skipped. I'm guessing in most American households, their standard go-to would probably be a store-bought sauce, maybe some Italian sausage, and for many, just some seasoned ground beef with the sauce. For me, I go somewhere between the traditional way and the slightly devolved version that I'm confident is very popular in households all across the U.S. For today's video, I'm heating up a sauce I made a few days before, so I can't show you the mirepoix step. I actually did it as a puree and then cooked it down with some extra virgin olive oil, and then started browning the ground beef and Italian sausage. So most of the grocery stores in my area no longer carry ground pork. So unless I want to make it myself or go to a specialty shop or the butcher, I'm using Italian sausage. After browning the meat, you want to add in a little bit of red wine. If you don't have it, beef stock or water is fine. Just cook it for about 10 minutes, and then it's time to add in the tomato sauce. Now I go back and forth between making my own sauce and using store-bought sauce. It just kind of depends on what I have on hand and what I'm in the mood for. I then slow cook this for an hour to 2 hours, and I'm done. If you want to learn how to make this in a much more traditional way, I highly recommend checking out Vincenzo's Plate. He's got a great lasagna recipe as well as one for bolognese. Alrighty, time to layer things up. Now I gotta tell you, I recently discovered the no-boil lasagna. This has been a game changer for me, allowing me to make lasagna on any weeknight versus it having to be a special occasion dish that I'm gonna work on all day on a Saturday or Sunday. While there's no way to beat or replace homemade pasta, in a pinch, this works awesome. It also removes some of the guesswork that you have when you're using traditional dry lasagna. You don't have to figure out exactly how to make it just al dente enough to where it doesn't overcook or be undercooked. For me, this comes out perfect every single time. In my next step, I'm going to be doing something that, again, is not traditional. At this stage, it's time to add in a little bechamel. Now, I'm not doing that for my recipe, not because it's not cost effective. I mean, it's just flour, butter, a little bit of milk, and a touch of nutmeg. The reason I'm changing it up is more about nostalgia. I just grew up eating lasagnas that had ricotta cheese in them. And while that's not a traditional component, it's just something that I like. Now, I do believe too much ricotta can add a heaviness to lasagna that's not ideal for me. So I puree a 40-60 mix, 40% ricotta, 60% cottage cheese. Give it a nice puree till you have a smooth consistency like that. Okay, let's talk about the cheese. Now, this can get very expensive or can be done in an incredibly cheap way. I do not recommend the incredibly cheap way. I go somewhere in between. I spend just a few extra cents on 100% whole milk mozzarella and just shred it myself. It's a million times better than the cheap store-bought that many of us have been buying for decades. For provolone, I just go with some standard slices. I'm just fine with the Walmart brand. I can't get a hold of pecorino where I'm at without spending a fortune. And I'm also not going the super cheap route with the Kraft Parmesan cheese. I'm going in between with the Parmigiano Reggiano. Now you can go as light or as heavy on the cheese as you want. I just recommend finding a nice balance to where it does not overwhelm all the other delicious ingredients. Now after that, all we got left to do is finish stacking this up and get it ready for the oven. Before I start the baking, I do want to mention something that I learned from Vincenzo regarding that last layer. Just doing it with tomato sauce, then adding on the aluminum foil before baking. This prevents the cheese from sticking to the foil. Then after you remove the foil, do your last layer of cheese, hit it with the broiler, and boom, you've got an amazing looking lasagna. I baked this with the aluminum foil on for 45 minutes in my Ninja air fryer / oven. Then added my last layer of cheese and broiled for just a couple minutes. While this is definitely not 100% the traditional way to make lasagna, it's a way I enjoy doing it and working with the ingredients I have. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. Y'all have a fantastic week.